Hello and happy new year. Welcome to 2025. I hope that this is the best year yet. And if you're listening in the future, because I know we listen to podcasts when they're not, happening in real time. If you're listening in the future, happy week, because you can start fresh, just like a new year's start anytime you want. And all of what I'm talking about today is the 4 common mistakes that we run into when we're setting goals. And you can set goals all year long. So you can listen to this and take action no matter when you're listening to this. But very specifically, New Year's resolutions is top of mind right now. And when we think about a New Year's resolution, whether you are the type of person who sets the resolution, the goal, the dream, the intention, the word of the year, or you're the person that's like, Amanda, I don't do any of that, and I don't play into that. You can take this information because I know that you set goals. You're listening to this podcast because you're a driven person, so you're looking at achieving something. So these are the 4 most common mistakes that I see people fall into when we are setting a goal and we end up feeling like we failed. And I've got a bit of good and bad news, and I'm a fan of always starting with the bad news first to end on the good. So I'm going to give you the bad news first. So when we look at New Year's resolutions, the studies, and when I say the studies, I mean study after study after study, the research shows us that only 8 to 10% of people actually achieve their New Year's resolution, goal, intention. 8 to 10%. This is dependent on which research study you're reading, but they're all really low. So that breaks my heart. And we don't want to fall into the bigger component of that percentage of the people who feel like they have failed, right? And even worse, the research says that 23% of people who start that New Year's resolution or that goal quit by their first week. So we're already down 23% people who've set that goal. And then in 2019, Strava did a study that found that 80% of people are done. They've thrown in the towel. They are quitting by the second week of trying to achieve their goal. So much so, my friend, that there is a national day declared. Quitter's Day is actually the second Friday in January every year. This breaks my heart. As someone who helps people pursue and achieve goals, this makes me so sad to think that 80% of people give up by the second week. And I say give up because something threw you off your plan. It's not because you didn't want it. It's not because you didn't try. It was because it got hard. And when something gets hard, it's just easier to go back to the routine, go back to the habits, go back to the things that we are really comfortable doing because that's how our brain is wired. So having all of those stats tossed your way, you're probably like, why do we even try? Amanda, why should we even do this? The answer is you can actually get to a 95% success rate when you do some very intentional things. It's all about setting your goals in a way that set you up for success instead of failure. And so that's what we're talking about, the 4 most common mistakes. So I won't make you wait any longer. We're going to go ahead and jump in so I can tell you how to avoid these mistakes as you're setting your New Year's goal, resolution, intention, or goal any time of the year. Number 1, letting others define our goals for us. It's a biggie. Number 2 is failing to consider our capacity before setting our goals. Number 3 is only adding instead of subtracting. And number 4 is not identifying what level of accountability that we need. So I'm going to dive a little bit deeper onto each one of these. So the first one is letting others define our goals for us. My friend, you have to define your goal on your terms, what you want, and stop letting other people's goals define your goals. Because if you don't take real responsibility and action on this, other people will define your goals for you and you won't even know it. It will be by default. We've all done this. I can raise my hand and say it's happened several times for me. Because when you're consuming content from other people, myself included, you can hear the messages of, this is a great idea. And you take it on and think, yeah, it is a great idea. So-and-so made it sound amazing. And it could be amazing, but it also couldn't be for you. So you have to really understand what you want to accomplish in the next year, in the next 3 months, whatever you want to do here. You have to stop chasing what other people are saying you should want. So we have to let those shoulds go. So I want you to really make sure that you understand why you have the goal as the thing you want to do. So whatever bubbled up for you and you were like, yes, I am ready to do this in 2025 or whenever you're listening to this, ask yourself why. Why do I want to do this? And really understand the driving force behind it, because if it's not you, then you will stop when it's hard. But if you really, 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 really want it, you're not going to stop when it's hard. You'll keep going. It will be hard and it will be difficult, and you will probably think, gosh, I wish this was easier, but you'll keep finding a way to continue. You've seen this in your life, and you can think about the times that you have achieved a goal that you really wanted, and it did get hard along the way, but somehow you figured it out. So stop chasing what other people are telling you that you should want, and do the thing that you actually want to do. And here's the kicker. You don't have to know how. It may be so big that you know this is not even possible in 1 year. That's okay. But you need to know the big dream, the big goal that you want to achieve, and have the driving force behind it. You don't have to know how, you just need to know what you want to do. There's no right or wrong answer. This is personal to you, and I will stand firm on this soapbox for the rest of my life, because if you don't do this, everything else doesn't even matter. Because you can chase other people's goals for sure. You can achieve them, but you're not going to be happy at the end. And so you have simply wasted your energy doing something that you may be accomplishing, but you're not happy doing it. So you need to understand what you want to do. So the second is failing to calculate your capacity before setting your goals. Now, if you've been around me long enough, you've heard me talk about this. This is a big one. I have a free resource to even help you with this one, because it's a huge, huge, huge failure point when we think about setting a goal. Now, when I say capacity, I mean time, energy, finances, skills, and knowledge. I'm really only focused on the time for this little bit, because the time is the thing that trips everyone up. And so I have a free resource for you. It's a calculator that you can see how to do this, how to calculate your capacity, and know how to set a milestone that will help you get to your big goal. This is especially true when that big goal feels so huge. You're like, I have no idea how to get from where I am to where I'm wanting to go. This calculator is going to help you set milestones in that short term, because the short term milestones is what gets you from A to B. But you have to, well, it's really more like A to Z, right? You're trying to go from A to Z in one step, but you really need to go A to B and then B to C and continue one step at a time. So this calculator actually helps you do that. You can get access for free at amandamckinney.com/calculator. And there is resources with that as well. So you'll hear examples and really see how this comes to life. So you really need to calculate your capacity before setting those milestones, because that truly sets you up for success. Most people think about the big goal and say, I'm going to do this in 2025, or I'm going to do this by December 31st, and hope it happens. My friend, hope is not a strategy. I should probably get that on a shirt. I say it so often. Hope is not a strategy. You have to have more of a tactical plan, because you've had hope as your strategy before, and you got to the end of the year and thought, oh my gosh, I haven't done anything. Or I took 2 steps and I never went any further. We can't rely just on hope. We need to have hope in our life. But when it comes to achieving goals, that doesn't work out so well. So we really need a plan. And the plan comes from those smaller steps. It's not a huge leap. It's a small step each and every day or week, or however the cadence is for you. So make sure to calculate your capacity before setting those milestones as you're moving forward. The next mistake, only adding instead of subtracting. So my friend, if you're listening in real time, we're in the first week of the year. Do you already feel like there's too much on your plate? Do you already feel strapped for time, for energy, and stressed out? If the answer is yes, you added and didn't subtract anything. This is a problem, because when we do that, we're stacking things on top of each other and just adding more, and it's overwhelming. We cannot do that. Instead, what I want you to think about is looking at, okay, these are the things that worked. I'm going to take this with me. These are the things that didn't work, and I'm getting rid of them. This is something that I do with my clients, and I have them go through this exercise called the red, yellow, green exercise. This is something that is a little bit difficult to do. It takes some time, but is very, very eye-opening. So once you know your goal, once you know those milestones, you understand your capacity, then you can say, what do I need to stop doing? What do I need to start doing? What do I need to continue doing? So this is that red, yellow, green exercise. And it's simple and hard all at the same time. So this is the one piece that a lot of people really do like support with. And I love helping my clients through this because we can get in our heads with this idea of, I have to keep doing what I have been doing because I've committed to doing it. And there is some strength in that. Consistency is good. But when something's not working, at some point you do have to stop doing it. And it doesn't mean you're stopping forever. So if something becomes red, so like red is what we're stopping, yellow is what we're evaluating or changing, and green is what we're going to continue doing. And so if something is a red, it doesn't mean you're stopping it forever. It just means you're pausing during this season so that you can focus your energy and your effort on the needle moving actions. So when you think about, you kind of go through this process of, okay, now I know where I want to go. Now I know my capacity. So now I can look at 90 days and set that 90-day milestone. And then you do this red, yellow, green exercise and say, okay, what do I have time to keep? What do I have time to let go of? That sort of thing. And you can put the things on the shelf. So really make sure that you're not only adding and you're also doing some subtracting along the way, or else you're going to be overcommitted, overwhelmed, and scattered. You're going to feel that all year long. The last mistake that I see all the time is not identifying what level of accountability you need. As an accountability coach, I could not talk about goal setting without talking about accountability. I clearly believe in it 100% because I am an accountability coach. I do this every day. But there are 3 levels. It's not just working with someone like myself, although I am here if you're interested. But you also have personal level of accountability and peer accountability. So in episode number 3 of this podcast, I go into detail about all of those 3, but the key is that you need to know what you need. And it's dependent on your season of life, your capacity, and your goal. And when you're looking at what you're trying to do, you need to understand, what type of support do I need? Am I good to do this on my own? Do I need an accountability buddy? Or do I need more of a paid commitment to make sure that I move the needle forward? To make sure that when things get hard, I have something there to support me instead of just being myself. So the accountable action for this week's podcast episode is to run through this filter. When you are thinking about your goal, I want you to also run it through the filter of these 4 common mistakes and ask yourself, number 1, am I letting others define my goal for me? And if the answer is yes, I need you to redefine your goal. I need you to make sure you know exactly why you want the thing and make it very personal to you. You don't have to tell anyone else if you don't want to, but you need to make it personal for you. Question number 2, am I failing to consider my actual capacity before setting this milestone? Those are those small steps. The milestone is the small step. So the big goal is the thing you're aiming for. You might not know how it's going to happen. The milestone is the thing that you really have to understand your capacity so that you can identify that next step. Question number 3, am I only adding and not subtracting anything? Because if you haven't subtracted anything, chances are you are overcommitting yourself and you are going to burn yourself out. So make sure something is coming off of your plate. Question number 4, am I not identifying the level of accountability that I need? Again, you have 3 levels by my definition. Pick which one works for you and just notice it and say, okay, I think I'm good on my own. Or I really need to find an accountability buddy. Or it's time for me to hire someone and invest my financial and time resources to ensure that this gets done. Which one do you need? Go find what you need and go for it. Because I want you to make this the year that you're part of that 8%. That 8 to 10% of people who actually succeed, I want that to be you. I want you to look back on this year and say, dang, I did it. This was the year. And so I have created something brand new, and I'm so excited to bring it to you. It is a DIY course. I have not had a DIY course in a while because I have been working one-on-one or in small groups with people, and I love working that way. But I also know not everyone has the time and finances to do that. So I have taken all of the information that I have gathered over the years of working with people and put it into a very, very, very simple course. And when I say course, this is done in a day, my friend. This is something that will be so fast. It's a handful of hours if you really take your time doing it. You can do this within a day. The reason it is that way is because I know how few people actually finish a DIY course that lasts over weeks and months. I didn't want to create that because I've seen how it doesn't work. I want you to use this. What this does is what I've taken is my clients who have taken through a VIP half day and full day. I go through a very, very similar process with every client. Sometimes it's a little different, of course, dependent on their needs. But I go through the process of what I talked about. Those 4 mistakes, they're gone because I'm working with them on that during that half day or full day. And so I've taken the nuts and bolts of this and put it into a course that you can buy right now and get immediate access and do it within a few hours. And the course is called Path, the step-by-step process to design your unique roadmap to achieve ambitious goals. This is unique to you. This is unique to your season of life, and you can rinse and repeat this over and over and over again. It is the gift that keeps on giving, my friend, because I have put my heart and soul into working with clients and figuring out what works. This works. I know it works, and my clients say it works too. So you want to hear some of their words? I thought you did. So hear what Jessie said. Now, Jessie and Madeline, these are the two I'm going to share today. They worked with me in the half day, the VIP half day capacity, but they were really this last round of people who went through the half day. I really took note of what was working and what was not working, and it helped create this course. So Jessie said this: Amanda helped me get clear on life first goals and then built a plan for my business to support those goals. I now have a clear vision, a well-defined goal, and an actionable quarterly milestones. I feel confident and motivated. I feel more confident and motivated than ever, and I can't recommend this option enough. Love it. So excited for Jessie. Madeline said this: Amanda helped me integrate my passion project and my business, saving me time and energy. I now have a clear path to achieving my goals. Amanda's thoughtful preparation and personalized approach was invaluable. I highly recommend this to any entrepreneur who feels overwhelmed and needs clarity and focus. Thank you, Madeline. And did you hear? She said a clear path. She was an integral part of me naming this course Path. So what I want you to do is check out this amazing, amazing DIY course that you can get access to right away. All you have to do is go to amandamckinney.com/path. It walks you through step by step how to set a goal that is a life first goal based on how you want to feel, how you want to accomplish the goal, not just what you want to accomplish, but how you want to do it in a way that works for you at the capacity that you have. You get to customize this. And then if you get into the course and you're like, actually, I think I need your help, Amanda, you get a special offer. You get a special deal on the VIP half day or full day if you want it. It means that you can test this and just see. It's a very low investment. Go check it out. You get access immediately. You can run with it. And if you want more support, it's always there for you. But even if you don't want the course, I want you to take action on this podcast episode. So your accountable action for today is to declare your goal intentionally by avoiding these common mistakes. Because now that you know them, it's time to take action. They say knowledge is power, but it's not. It's taking action on that knowledge. That is the actual power. So you have to take action. Don't just listen to this. I want you to take action so that you can be that 8 to 10% of people who actually achieve their goals. And don't forget, check out the course. If you'd like it, go to amandamckinney.com/path to get all the details and grab it and use it today. So until next time, my friend, keep being accountable.